Okay, my name is Pascal Langlois, and I am the Director of Motives in Movement. Motives in Movement is a convergence consultancy. Basically I provide services that sit right in the middle of the technology of performance capture and animation, and the craft and skills involved in performance capture as an artist, as a performer, and an actor. That means that I come to certain challenges that are involved in interactive projects and in the creation of performances for those projects. I come to those challenges with a very different perspective, something that draws on experience in traditional media, but also a lot of experience in capture-based media as well. And often the actual solutions are entirely new. A lot of this stuff has never been done before, so it's working on new ways of actually approaching some very fundamental challenges. And as a result of this, I also represent two other companies as well. A company called Dynamics, which is a French company that provides markerless facial capture and analysis, and so a company called ADN, which is a digital doubles agency, which represents celebrities and high-profile actors' digital doubles. They actually will collect the data, they'll create the digital double, and they'll hold it on behalf of the actor. They'll contract with the actor to use it across multiple projects, and also to be able to protect and ring-fence how that digital double is used. So in some strange way, I'm poacher and gamekeeper at the same time. If you understood both, and you understood the needs of one, the needs of game development, you also understood the creative process. If you could somehow make these two work very well together, you would improve the dramatic content in games, you would improve the dramatic content in interactive drama. And that's how I started. That's basically was my mission, and still remains my mission. So, that was started in the UK originally, and then I moved to Toronto on June the 8th last year. Actually, it wasn't strictly because of the industry that I was here. That was it's a fantastic benefit, obviously, but it was something I'd been working on for 4.5 years to actually get residency. So, yes, so we finally made it in summer last year. So I set up again in Canada and in Toronto, and it's been phenomenal. It's been a great success. Being positioned in Toronto as a permanent resident actually makes a lot of companies want to talk to me from outside Toronto and outside Canada as well. And within too, partly, of course, it's because of there can be a reason behind it, which is, well, we need to employ within Canada. So, you know, you give us access to these people and these companies, but we're employing a Canadian. And that is a part of it. But I think that, again, culturally, having come from the UK and being in Toronto, it's become very useful. A lot of people coming to me from the US, but also from the UK, interested in what it is that Toronto has to offer, what facilities, particularly in Ontario as well, but what facilities exist in Canada, because it can be quite a tough thing for them to get what's actually out there sometimes. And it's become a great resource for me, in fact. Essentially, the philosophy of the company is that video games and narrative in video games, in particular, requires the same skills, the same approaches from actors and directors as anything else. But it also means that there's a convergence going on between the actual game developers and traditional art. So the two are colliding together. The basic philosophy is that we are all the same, trying to achieve the same results, and that there should not be this demarcation between one industry and the other, and that if we can just avoid that kind of that split in thought, we can actually create more better and more interesting and better projects and games and even interactive movies, whatever it is. There could be an explosion of this new media if we get this particular period of convergence correct. And that's our philosophy, is that we don't see a split. I am still an actor, for example. I haven't stopped acting. It's an example of, I don't see why I should stop acting. I am an actor, and I am also involved in the video games industry in this particular realm as well. It makes no sense to me to decide to be either one or the other. The consultancy itself is a collection of people that I have either worked with or whose work I know quite well, that I can help source people for you as a result. So it's a loose collection, and I'm always interested in meeting new people and finding out what they've done. But it's basically a very loose kind of arrangement. The companies that I work with, I am officially their representatives in North America, but I can represent. I can go to any territory at all. It's not just North America, obviously, and that's more a formal arrangement. But it's basically a collection of people who follow the same kind of philosophy, and who I can source. So I can help with casting, for example, because I know casting directors who understand the media. I can find you drama directors who understand performance capture or interactive drama. I can find these people because I've kind of naturally become sort of the meeting point for a lot of these people. So it's actually quite a simple system.